Do Labour really want to have to spend £180,000 on a by-election in Clacton, or the Liberal Democrats, or the Greens? I suspect, or the Conservatives, I suspect they will all say, no, this is a stunt by Farage. We're not going to take part.
But I think now we can go to Michael Crick, journalist and broadcaster. And remind me, Michael, your book about Nigel Farage is called?
One party after another.
Thank you.
The Disruptive Life of Nigel Farage.
Excellent.
Which seems more appropriate today than it even did then when I first published it.
Yes. Okay. And it's still available. So that's good to know. Thank you. Yeah. Right. So were you expecting this, just in case anyone is just coming to? Nigel Farage has resigned as the MP for Clacton, but he will stand in the forthcoming by-election. What do you think, Michael?
Well, I wasn't expecting it when I heard there was going to be an announcement at, what was it, about 12 o'clock this morning. But gradually it looked like it was going that way. This could be a bit of a damp squib from Farage's point of view. Cast your mind back to 2009, when David Davis, the Conservative Shadow Home Secretary, resigned from that job and fought a by-election in his seat of Holton Price and Howden on Humberside. And the other parties said, this is a stunt. And he fought the by-election over civil liberties issues, by the way.
Yeah. And
Labour said it was a stunt. The Liberal Democrats said it was a stunt. And so the Conservatives ended up standing against a whole load of tiddly-widdly, tiny independent candidates. I think the Greens stood. But I think it's very likely, or pretty likely, that the same thing will happen now. Do Labour really want to have to spend £180,000 on a by-election in Clacton, or the Liberal Democrats, or the Greens? I suspect, or the Conservatives, I suspect they will all say, no, this is a stunt by Farage. We're not going to take part. It's a waste of taxpayers' money. And they may also turn around and say to Mr. Farage, if you're so keen on by-elections, and if you're so keen on holding elections, and you're so keen on democracy, why don't the people who've resigned from the Conservative Party and joined your party, people like Andrew Rosendale down the road, or Danny Kruger in Wiltshire, or Suella Braverman, why don't they resign their seats and fight by-elections, just as the Conservatives did who went and defected to UKIP when you were leader all those years ago? So, and then what happens if he gets elected? The Parliamentary Standards Commissioner will say, right, now, returning to these investigations, and he could end up being suspended, and we could end up having a second by-election in Clacton. I mean, it could be an absolute farce, this.
Right, OK, but you sound pretty chipper about it, Michael.
Well, I just think I suppose I am. I think it's, it's the news junkie in me, isn't it? But
yeah, it could be another chapter for your book. I mean, it sounds like it's perfectly plausible. Did you know, I mean, by the way, I in no way underestimate how alarming this must have been. Did you know about the incident in which a mob had surrounded Mr. Farage's car outside a pub?
Yes, we've known about that story for about 10 years. It's almost certainly in my book. I haven't checked. And Farage has almost certainly spoken about it before. I mean, the way he spoke today was as if he was telling us this for the first time, unless there were two incidents and he's told us about one of them and not the other. But it sounds very like the incident that occurred, I think it was around about 2014. So it'd be slightly more than 10 years ago in Down, the village near to where he lives. The other real inconsistency in his statement, and he really should not be allowed to get away with this, frankly, he goes on about saying making money is not a crime. Well, everybody would agree with that, so long as the laws are kept to. But that's not the issue here. The issue here is not about money that Mr. Farage made through his own hard work or entrepreneurial skills or great business ideas or coming up with some fantastic new invention. What is in dispute here are gifts that he received from Christopher Harborne, the cryptocurrency billionaire, £5 million, and gifts in kind that he received from his friend and advisor, George Cottrell, in the form of accommodation, staff, security people, drivers, and so on. That's what's going on here. And Farage has, I think, deliberately muddied the waters here. Nobody's talking about, the money he makes from doing cameo appearances, or from Farage Gin, although I don't think actually that was a great success, or the money he's made from selling gold bullion, highly lucrative though it is. That's his affair, and so long as he declares that on the parliamentary register, which I think he has done, that is fine. What we're talking about here is whether he has failed to register the gifts he's had from both Cottrell and Harborne.
Yeah.
And the other interesting question is, are there more gifts? I suspect there are.
Well, is it more than a suspicion, Michael?
Well, no, but Zia Youssef, the senior figure in Reform, I think it was yesterday or the day before, was grilled about this on Matt Chorley about whether there were other gifts and didn't want to answer, which raises my suspicion. And it just strikes me, it's pretty likely that other people around Farage, people who think he's wonderful, will have given him gifts of money, maybe not as much as £5 million, maybe only £5,000. Nonetheless, it should be registered because it's likely to have, if it has, political implications. And in both these cases, it seems they do. The Parliamentary Standards Commissioner may decide otherwise, may say that there's no problem, and Farage didn't have to register them. We haven't encountered that possibility yet. In fact, it would look a bit odd, wouldn't it, if this by-election went ahead and then the commissioner came out and said, actually, I thought these gifts were fine.
Michael, you have many fans, but you also have your critics, as I'm sure you're aware. And I'm just looking at the range of the range of messages coming in. And some people say, look, you're a lefty so-and-so and you hate Nigel Farage, and you, Michael Crick, and me, we are the establishment, and Nigel Farage is a crusader against exactly the sort of people we represent. Smug, slightly lefty so-and-sos. What do you say to that?
Well, I suppose I'm slightly left of centre. I'm not that left-wing. I regularly appear on GB News with Kelvin Mackenzie and Jacob Rees-Mogg and end up agreeing with them. And I think I've probably lost a few friends because of that. My views are all over the place, and that's because I've been a broadcaster all my life. And you don't have to have views if you're a broadcaster. And since I've become less of a broadcaster, I've sort of formulated my views, but they are not politically in one direction or the other. So and maybe I'm smug from time to time. Yeah, I'll plead guilty to that one. But hang on a moment. Who is the establishment figure here? Who has the bank account with Coutts, the establishment bank? And why did he want a bank account with Coutts, the establishment bank? Who spends a large amount of his time in gentlemen's clubs like 5 Hertford Street, but Nigel Farage? Who went to one of London's top public schools and still enjoys going to school events to this day, although I'm not sure they all enjoy having him there? Right. Who loves the high life in top restaurants and drinking fine wines?
Okay, yes. Michael Crick, I think you've made your point. Thank you very much indeed. Michael Crick, journalist and broadcaster, Times Radio, 3 o'clock.